was really hard just to go in a cave. I said, God, how is a cave formed? Yeah. Some of you guys might be asking the same question. Well, I'm glad you asked. Caves used to be rocks. Okay. This is good. A cave at one point was a rock. Can you say rock? Can you say cave? Can you say rock? So a cave at one point in its development was a rock. And the very nature of a rock is solid. The very nature of a rock is impenetrable. Indeed, rocks don't give access to the core. So that a cave that now gives access or residence to darkness used to be a place that was impenetrable. Are you still with me? Yeah. And so the reality is that it took a certain series of events, series of climates, series of things for a rock to become a cave. So now, I have to drive back the point that some of us are stuck in caves, but I must also reveal that we used to be rocks. So that God made us to be rocks. So that when we enter into our lives and we move throughout the endeavors that God placed in front of us, God intended to send us into it as a rock. So that we should not have been penetrable. We shouldn't be affected by our environment as much, because the reality is we were made to be rocks. Can you say rocks? There are certain things that should not be able to get to us because our very nature is that of a rock. We come from the rock. So the reality is, if the rock is inside of us, there ought to be something about us that's not penetrable. Can you say rock? And so a cave used to be a rock. This blessed me so much, because the reality is I had to ask the question, what was the process of a rock becoming a cave? I'm so glad you asked. Well, the people who study rocks are called speleologists. Can you say that? Speleologists? Those are the people who research caves. They go and look at the makeup of the cave. Speleologists. And I said, well, let me see really what they have to say about how caves are formed. So I said, how, Mr. Speleologist, Mrs. Speleologist, did a rock become a cave? Watch this now. They said, speleologists say that caves started with cracks. This is so good. So that when a rock becomes cracked, it has the potential to become a cave. Because a crack is a split in a rock that doesn't give access to big things, it just gives access to small things. So now, if we are rocks, we have to go back and research where our cracks are. Because if we don't pay attention to the fact that we're supposed to be rocks, then our cracks are insignificant. So you now have to ask yourself, what environment am I putting myself in that keeps on cracking me? Because I'm a rock. I can't afford to be cracked, because a crack has potential to become a cave. And I can't be stuck in a cave because I'm a rock. and caves give permanent access, JR, to the core. Y'all gonna get with me in a minute. So that when we're stuck in a cave, we're stuck in a place where people can access our core when we're supposed to be protected.
Wow.
Stuck in a cave. And so the speleologist, he said, okay, Charles. I said, well, what is this? How are cracks formed? Because Elijah, a man of God who was closer to the rock than anybody else, should not have